Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're diving into something that a lot of people completely misread, and it might just surprise you. We're talking about how younger women react when older men handle certain situations like total pros. And trust me, 93% of them notice it, even if you think you're being subtle. Most people assume that age gaps automatically mean differences in attraction or compatibility, but the truth is way more nuanced. It's not about flashy moves, big gestures, or trying too hard. It's about confidence, emotional intelligence, and knowing how to handle moments like a pro. And here's the kicker. The signs of interest are often subtle, almost invisible, but they stick in her mind more than you realize. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what younger women love seeing in older men, but you'll also get a clear idea of how to naturally display these behaviors yourself. So, buckle up, this is going to be eye-opening. The thing is, when it comes to attraction between older men and younger women, a lot of people get it completely wrong. You see, there's this common misconception that younger women only respond to flashy confidence, wealth, or age-related stereotypes. But that couldn't be further from the truth. It's the subtle things that really make the difference, the small gestures, the way someone handles themselves in tricky situations, or even how they react under pressure. And here's where the confusion really comes in. Many younger women don't openly express their attraction. It's rarely verbal, and it's rarely obvious. Instead, they pick up on tiny cues, how an older man handles discomfort, how he navigates social dynamics, or how he manages unexpected moments. These cues are psychological breadcrumbs that signal maturity, confidence, and emotional stability, and that's exactly what sticks in her mind. So, if you've ever found yourself wondering why a younger woman seems interested one moment and distant the next, don't panic. You're not alone. Most people misread these signs because they're subtle and counterintuitive. A gentle touch, a confident reaction to a stressful situation, or the way he listens, these small details often matter more than the big gestures. The real challenge is understanding why these behaviors matter so much psychologically. Younger women often look for reliability, emotional intelligence, and consistency, qualities that older men tend to display naturally if they handle themselves well. These behaviors aren't just about attraction. They signal that someone can be trusted, someone who can navigate life's ups and downs without overreacting. And that's incredibly appealing because it creates a sense of safety, respect, and emotional connection. The problem is, too many people assume that attraction works like a checklist. If you do X, Y, or Z, she'll like you. But real attraction is much more nuanced. It's about how you make someone feel, how you manage small moments, and how you respond when things don't go perfectly. That's why older men who naturally handle situations like a pro stand out so much. They give off subtle signals of competence, confidence, and emotional awareness without trying to force it. By the time we go through the 5 points in this video, you'll see exactly what these behaviors look like in real life, why they trigger attraction, and how younger women respond, often in ways that aren't obvious at first glance. Understanding this is the key to navigating these dynamics smoothly, without overthinking, without trying too hard, and without falling into the trap of stereotypes. Before we jump into the 5 key behaviors that younger women absolutely notice when older men handle situations like pros, let's get something straight. Not every older man behaves this way, and not every younger woman reacts the same. Attraction isn't a formula, and human behavior rarely fits neatly into boxes. These are common patterns, trends, and observations, not strict rules. Think of them more like guideposts than guarantees. Why is this important? Because too many people get frustrated when they try to follow a script for attraction and nothing happens. That's because real attraction is rooted in authenticity. If you're forcing a behavior, pretending to be something you're not, or overthinking every interaction, it's obvious. Women, especially younger women who are often highly intuitive, can sense it immediately. On the other hand, when an older man naturally handles situations with confidence, composure, and subtle awareness, it creates a magnetic effect, even without him trying to impress. So, how do we know these behaviors work? Observation, psychology, and countless social interactions show that younger women consistently respond to maturity, emotional intelligence, and calm decisiveness. The details matter. How someone handles minor challenges, how they manage social cues, and even how they respond to small inconveniences. It's these little moments that subconsciously signal competence, reliability, and emotional stability, all qualities that younger women are wired to value highly in older partners. Here's the key. While there's no universal guarantee, these behaviors are remarkably consistent. That's why I'm breaking them down in this video, one by one. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of what younger women notice, how they respond, and why certain behaviors make a big difference in attraction dynamics. So, let's get into it. Here are 5 ways younger women react positively when older men handle situations like pros. Each one is backed by psychology, real-life observation, and the subtle signals that often go unnoticed. From emotional intelligence to digital interactions, these points cover the full spectrum of attraction cues, the kind that makes someone stand out without trying too hard. Ready? Let's dive into the first point. One of the first things younger women notice when an older man handles situations expertly is emotional intelligence. This isn't just about being polite or smiling, it's about how he responds to emotions, both his own and others, without overreacting or losing composure. Emotional intelligence signals maturity, stability, and trustworthiness, and all of these are incredibly attractive qualities. Imagine this scenario. You're at a social event, and something unexpected happens. Maybe a waiter spills a drink, someone interrupts a conversation, or a plan suddenly changes. The room tenses, and most people either panic or overreact. But then there's the older man who remains calm, collected, and even finds a way to lighten the moment. He doesn't belittle anyone, he doesn't act embarrassed, and he handles the situation with a quiet confidence. For a younger woman watching, that's magnetic. She notices that he can navigate challenges without stress and without drama, and that subconsciously tells her he's someone dependable. Why does this matter psychologically? Emotional intelligence signals self-regulation, empathy, and social awareness. Younger women often find themselves evaluating not just whether someone is attractive in the conventional sense, but whether he can handle life's unpredictability without losing control. When an older man demonstrates this, he communicates, "I can take care of myself, and I can navigate tricky situations gracefully, which also makes you feel safe." That safety and stability are highly appealing. Here's a mini example. Imagine a younger woman, let's call her Chloe, watching an older man navigate a tricky conversation at a party. He listens, responds thoughtfully, and never raises his voice, even when someone gets confrontational. Chloe might not say a word, but she's noticing how he handles stress, tension, and social dynamics, and in her mind, she's already ranking him higher as someone she respects and is drawn to. And it's not just public situations. Emotional intelligence also shows up in private interactions, in texting, phone calls, or casual conversations. How he responds to frustration, disagreement, or even humor can signal maturity in ways that are subtle but highly influential. Younger women pick up on this because they've often been around men who react impulsively, boast, or overcomplicate situations. The contrast is striking. So, what should you do if you notice this in yourself? First, stay aware of how you handle small stressors. Second, practice listening actively, showing empathy, and maintaining calm. These aren't tricks, they're habits that naturally project confidence and stability. Third, avoid over-explaining or overcompensating. Handling situations like a pro isn't about performing, it's about being grounded. In short, emotional intelligence is the foundation of all other behaviors we'll discuss. It's the invisible thread that ties together confidence, maturity, and attractiveness. When younger women see it in action, it signals that you're capable of handling life, and they notice, trust me. It might seem subtle, but these cues stick in the mind far longer than a flashy joke or a bold gesture ever could. Another behavior younger women notice immediately is body language, specifically confident and calm physical presence. This isn't about being flashy or overly dominant. It's about moving and interacting in a way that signals ease, control, and self-assurance. The way an older man carries himself says volumes before he even speaks, and younger women are surprisingly attuned to these subtle cues. Think about this scenario. You're at a coffee shop and an older man walks in. He's relaxed, shoulders back, subtle eye contact, and a natural smile. He doesn't rush, doesn't fidget, and doesn't try to grab attention. He orders his coffee calmly and interacts politely with the barista. That simple combination of poise and presence communicates confidence. A younger woman noticing this will subconsciously register him as someone composed, reliable, and in control, traits she finds attractive without needing any words. The psychology behind this is simple. Humans are wired to notice signals of strength, stability, and self-confidence. When someone carries themselves in a grounded, deliberate way, it signals to others that they are secure and capable. In social situations, this kind of calm authority makes others feel comfortable and safe, which is inherently attractive. Here's a mini story to illustrate. Imagine Rachel, a 24-year-old woman, at a casual networking event. She's surrounded by a group of younger, slightly anxious attendees. Then she notices David, an older man, effortlessly navigating conversations. He stands relaxed, makes eye contact, gestures naturally, and laughs easily without dominating the group. Rachel isn't consciously analyzing him, but her brain is taking note. He's confident, steady, and approachable. Later, she might feel drawn to him without ever pinpointing exactly why. It's all communicated through his body language. Now, what about small gestures? They matter too. Simple things like leaning in slightly when someone speaks, nodding at the right moments, or maintaining an open stance create subconscious feelings of connection. Conversely, crossed arms, constant fidgeting, or looking around nervously can instantly signal insecurity. Younger women pick up on these microsignals instinctively. So, how can older men handle this like a pro? It's about being mindful without overthinking. Stand tall, keep your shoulders relaxed, make natural eye contact, and smile when appropriate. Move deliberately but naturally. The goal isn't to appear intimidating or overly confident. It's to show that you're comfortable in your own skin. That comfort is incredibly attractive. And here's the secret. Confidence that comes from calmness beats flashy gestures every time. Younger women notice when a man's confidence is internal rather than performative. It's not about dominating the room or showing off. It's about being stable, relaxed, and genuine. When paired with emotional intelligence, the first point we discussed, it becomes a subtle but powerful combination. In short, body language is a silent signal of competence, security, and attractiveness. It's like a nonverbal resume of your character, and younger women notice it immediately. Handled right, it creates curiosity, comfort, and a magnetic pull, all without saying a single word. Humor is a universal attraction booster, but the kind younger women notice most in older men isn't about telling endless jokes or performing stand-up comedy. It's playful, situational, and effortless humor, the kind that shows a man can relax, have fun, and navigate life without taking everything too seriously. Think about this. You're in a casual group setting, maybe at a friend's dinner or a small gathering. Something slightly awkward happens, someone spills a drink, trips over a chair, or makes a clumsy comment. Most people either freeze or get embarrassed. But then there's the older man who laughs lightly at the situation, cracks a small witty comment, or diffuses tension with a smile. Not only does this lighten the mood for everyone, but it also signals confidence and social awareness. Humor like this shows he's comfortable with himself and can handle unpredictability, which younger women pick up on instantly. Here's a mini scenario. Sarah, a 23-year-old, is at a casual party. A friend drops a plate of food, and while most people groan or scowl, Mark, a man in his late 30s, chuckles and says, "Well, that's one way to test gravity." He doesn't make anyone feel bad, he just lightens the moment. Sarah notices. She's thinking, wow, he's easygoing, confident, and doesn't overreact. That combination is magnetic, and it often lingers in her mind long after the interaction. Why does humor work so well in these situations? Psychologically, laughter and playfulness reduce tension and create positive emotional associations. When a man can make her laugh while staying composed, he's signaling that he's not only confident but also emotionally resilient. Younger women often notice this because it contrasts sharply with peers who may be overly self-conscious or reactive. The key to handling humor like a pro is subtlety. It's not about performing or trying to impress. It's about being naturally witty in the moment, reading the room, and using light humor to connect. Even small gestures, a playful remark, a funny observation, or a gentle tease, can make a strong impression if done with authenticity and timing. And here's the beauty. Humor paired with emotional intelligence, our first point, and calm body language, our second point, is incredibly effective. It shows that an older man is socially adept, relaxed, and approachable. Younger women notice this combination more than flashy displays or aggressive confidence. In short, playful humor is like a social glue. It builds rapport, shows emotional flexibility, and makes interactions memorable. It's a subtle yet powerful way younger women subconsciously gauge maturity, charm, and relatability. And when handled right, it makes an older man stand out naturally without ever trying too hard. Another behavior younger women notice when older men handle things like pros is consistency and presence. It's not about grand gestures, constant attention, or trying to dominate her time. It's about being reliably present in ways that feel natural and thoughtful. This shows care, stability, and respect for boundaries, which are incredibly attractive qualities. Imagine this scenario. Emily, a 25-year-old, is part of a small friend group that frequently hangs out for weekend activities. There's an older man, let's call him James, who often attends these gatherings. He doesn't overextend himself or monopolize conversations, but he makes it a point to show up consistently, engage meaningfully, and be a calming presence. Over time, Emily starts noticing these subtle patterns. It's not flashy, it's just effort without pressure. She subconsciously begins to associate reliability and emotional safety with him. Why does this matter? Psychologically, humans are wired to value predictability and dependability in potential partners. When someone consistently shows up, physically, emotionally, or socially, it signals that they're reliable and considerate. Younger women pick up on this effortlessly. The key is subtlety. The effort shouldn't feel forced, and the presence shouldn't feel overbearing. The goal is demonstrating intentionality without overdoing it. Here's another example. Imagine a work project where a younger woman notices an older male colleague consistently offering support, feedback, or guidance. He's not micromanaging or overstepping. He's just there when it counts. That consistency signals competence, maturity, and a level of respect that younger women notice subconsciously. In social contexts, this translates to being present in meaningful ways, remembering small details, checking in at appropriate times, or simply being reliable in interactions. Consistency paired with effort also creates a sense of emotional stability. Younger women often encounter peers who are unpredictable, moody, or inconsistent. In contrast, an older man who can balance attentiveness with independence stands out because he projects maturity and self-assuredness. The combination of effort and discretion is subtle, but it's highly magnetic. What's important is the balance. Show care and engagement, but avoid overcommunicating, overanalyzing, or trying too hard to impress. The idea is to create a presence that feels natural and supportive, not forceful. Over time, this builds trust, emotional safety, and attraction without any dramatic gestures. So, in essence, this point is about being steady, thoughtful, and intentional. It's the kind of presence that younger women notice without even thinking about it. The calm, reliable energy that makes them feel secure, respected, and genuinely valued. This is a behavior that can elevate interactions in both social and romantic contexts, and when combined with emotional intelligence, calm body language, and playful humor, it creates a powerful, magnetic effect. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about showing up in meaningful ways over time. Younger women notice it, appreciate it, and often feel a stronger connection because of it, long before any overt romantic signals are exchanged. In today's world, younger women also notice how older men communicate digitally, and it can make a bigger impression than many realize. It's not about texting constantly or sending over-the-top messages. It's about thoughtful, subtle interactions that feel personal. A well-timed message, a genuine comment, or a small acknowledgement online can signal attentiveness and emotional presence without being overwhelming. For example, imagine Anna, 22, notices an older man who doesn't flood her social media with likes or comments, but occasionally shares something relevant to her interests, responds thoughtfully to stories, or checks in with a simple, "Hope your day is going well." That tiny digital effort communicates that he's paying attention, values connection, and respects boundaries, all without being pushy. Psychologically, these subtle online gestures are powerful because they create micro-moments of validation and emotional connection. Younger women often appreciate these small acts more than grand gestures because they feel genuine, intentional, and consistent with his real-life behavior. Handled well, digital communication becomes an extension of presence, emotional intelligence, and subtle charm. It's the modern way of showing you care, notice, and connect, which younger women pick up on almost instinctively. And there you have it. 5 powerful ways younger women notice when older men handle situations like pros. From emotional intelligence and calm body language to playful humor, consistent presence, and subtle digital cues, these behaviors aren't flashy, but they make a lasting impression. If you've noticed these signs in someone, or maybe even in yourself, it's a clear reminder that attraction is often about subtlety, consistency, and authenticity rather than grand gestures. The little things add up, and younger women pick up on them more than most people realize. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 points have you noticed before? Have you experienced subtle attention, humor, or emotional awareness making someone stand out? Comment below. Let's get a conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on dating, relationships, and behavioral psychology. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.